So let's talk about some programs and activities and how they have been helping in dealing with the problems related to the environment, which of course we cannot overrule, we cannot overlook, right? So the first thing is something called UNEP. All of you have to remember these names, the abbreviations, and basic details about each one. Okay. So UNEP stands for United Nations Environment Program. Okay, this is, you must be aware about United Nations. History mein padha hoga, right?
Yes.
This is the logo of that United Nations Environment Program. One branch of that is based on the environment, right? So this one was established in 1972. Broadly, the reason was to discuss environmental problems at the international level. Okay, there has to be some international platform also. So if any one particular country is not following the rules, suppose the problem is at the national level. Okay, so there has to be some international law which will regulate. It will tell the country, yes, what you are doing is incorrect. Please change your method so that environment is protected. Okay, so like on the map and all, you might make this lines and you can partition between different countries and all. But when one country is releasing pollutants, it doesn't know that the pollutant should not enter other country or something. It will just spread. Okay, so the problems caused by one country can affect the neighboring countries also. So this kind of international discussion is also required, for which the United Nations Environment Program was established. Okay, remember the name and the year. Got it, everyone? Okay. Similarly,
Yes.
now in the Indian government, I hope you are aware about this building. Which place is this?
Yes.
कौन सी जगह है ये? I don't think it should take so much time. Which building is this and where is it located?
Rashtrapati Bhavan.
This is the, is it the Rashtrapati Bhavan? That's correct. Where is it located?
Delhi.
It's in New Delhi, correct? The capital of our nation. So you know very well, under the Indian government, okay, there are different ministries. Okay, because one single government of India cannot handle everything. So there are different departments or ministries, each one taking care of different aspects. So under that, there is something called Ministry of Environment and Forests. Remember the name MOEF. Okay, this MOEF ministry and whoever leaders are there in this ministry, they take care of all the issues concerned with environment and forests in our country. Okay, so they pass the laws, they make the rules, they ensure the regulations. All these things are taken care of at this ministry level, which is at the national level in our country. Okay, so MOEF was established in 1985 under the Indian government. So they are involved in planning, inducting, and increasing awareness about environment and forest. So it's like there is a proper channel generated. This is at the central level. Okay, so they are in touch with every state and union territory. So the main leader under this ministry will be in charge for all the states and union territories, and every state will have a respective minister for this. So within the state, now there are many districts. At district level, again this thing will be handled. So each one is answerable to the one superior to it. And ultimately all the states and union territories will be answerable to this part, this branch of the ministry of the central government. And that's how the data is passed on, and that's how the rules are generated. Okay, so if at all in any part of the country, environment and forests are neglected or they are damaged due to any activity, the Ministry of Environment and Forest directly can take action. Okay, so that's why this awareness and all are carried out. Understood about MOEF? Okay.
Yes.
Then the various laws. See, ultimately, if you just go and tell a person, don't pollute the air, don't cut a tree. So emotional value के साथ no, hardly any person will understand these things. But if there is a law, if you cause any kind of a damage to the environment and it falls under this law, one can directly take a legal action against that person or organization or whatever. So there are certain laws which are in place for environmental conservation. So if there is a proper law in place, the judiciary can also act accordingly. Okay, so and so person has caused a problem which is wrong according to this law. Okay, so the first law is called Forest Conservation Act of 1980. Okay, so the name itself is telling you what do you mean by forest conservation. Yes, does India has a good cover of forest? Geography में पढ़ा होगा.
Yes.
Indian geography, you must be aware about the basic natural wealth of our country, right? So we have a good amount of forest in every state and union territory. Some areas have less forest cover, some others have good forest cover, correct? So if you see the states like say Himachal Pradesh, okay, or Uttarakhand, ya Madhya Pradesh, these states, they have very good forest cover. Okay, similarly, if you see states like Haryana, okay, or maybe say to some extent in other states like Uttar Pradesh, it has got comparatively less forest cover. Okay, so every state has got its own forest and minimum amount of forest cover has to be maintained. So Forest Conservation Act क्या बोलते हैं कि the land which is reserved for forest conservation has been prohibited to use for any other purpose. कि whatever area is under a forest, you cannot cut that and use it for any other purpose, at least without any permission. So if an individual wants to use a forest area for some other activities, so first of all, that person has to approach the government and take a permission, giving all the details. And it's not just like you take an application and go to the government will sign on it and say, okay, you can go ahead. There is going to be a panel. There is something called EIA, Environment Impact Assessment. तो उसके लिए environmentalist का panel होता है. They will understand what is being asked for, which area is getting disturbed, which forests are asking to be destroyed. In that forest, what is the status of the wildlife? Whether allowing or granting this permission will cause great damage to the wildlife or not. Considering all these factors, the permission is given or rejected. Okay, so any person who does not obey this law will be imprisoned for 15 days. Okay, now it might have been amended, but this was put across in 1980. 15 दिन का अभी बढ़ाया रहेगा because many activities are actually going on, right? Secondly is something called Environmental Conservation Act of 1986. So what does this law say now? To control the pollution and punish the persons or institutes who are harming the environment. So it's like based on different parameters, there is the limit set. Okay, if your industry is causing water pollution, so up to so and so level, water pollution is allowed. Beyond that, if you are causing pollution, you will be tried by the law. The same goes for air pollution also. That means I'm talking about the ideal situation, and what exactly happens is a different thing. Getting it? Okay, there is a lot of corruption involved and all, you know very well what is happening, right? Any person or a factory prohibited by this act from releasing the pollutants beyond the permissible limit. So there is a permissible limit for every type of a pollutant. Sulfur dioxide itna, nitrogen oxide itna. So एक limit से ज़्यादा वो नहीं release कर सकते. So if any checking is done, and if they come to know that the emission is beyond that much, there can be a legal action taken. So legal action क्या होगा? Either 5 years imprisonment or fine up to 1 lakh. That the court will decide. You understood how this law works? Okay, so it's like as a layman also, suppose, obviously not you because you are children now, beyond 18, people who are legally considered as adults, if you come across something like this where you find that a forest is being cut illegally or the environment is being damaged due to some reason, you can actually file a complaint based on this law against that person or that factory or whatever it is. A person has the right because the law is in place, so one can file a complaint. That's how this works. Okay. Next, there is something called National Green Tribunal or NGT. Okay, this institution is there at New Delhi again, NGT. Okay, and it's like the two laws that we just discussed, forest conservation and environment conservation. Those two laws, whether they are being taken care of properly or not, is controlled or regulated by this NGT. So as an individual, if you also feel that somebody is violating that law, not following the law properly, you have the right to approach the NGT and inform the authorities over there. If you give them some good evidence that something is wrong, they will take action. They have the right to take action. So all these bodies are set up so that a layman does not have to face a lot of trouble. So this kind of organizations, and these are the places where one can also get jobs. If you pursue environmental studies, if you are interested in contributing yourself for the environment, okay, so you can study subjects based on this, and you can find jobs in such places where you can be one of the members. Getting it? So lots of such opportunities are there, and these are upcoming things because what we are causing to the environment right now, you know very well, you can see in every way, correct? And the awareness is very, very less. That's the worst part. And the part which is worse than that is that people who are already aware, even they are negligent. That is another big thing. Do you agree with me? In many
Yes,
places, if you try to go and speak about the environment, how much seriously do they take? Imagine a situation, you're traveling by train. Somebody in front of you was eating chips or something, and uska wrapper खिड़की से बाहर फेंकता है. Common situation. Okay, yeah. Normally, that another worst thing is that pan masala or whatever it comes, small sachets में आते हैं. Correct? वो बाहर फेंकते हैं. So if you try to tell that person politely also, कि भैया ऐसे मत करो, this is wrong. 99.9%, what kind of a response do you get? If you tell a person कि ये ऐसे बाहर फेंकना गलत है, मत करो, what kind of a response do you get normally? Yes, Sundar? Do people understand all this easily?
no.
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 So it's like people don't like to listen to any kind of an advice or something. Correct? So what is the best thing you can do in such a situation? It can be you also, like you are consuming something while traveling, you have your wrappers or sachets or whatever. You can always keep them in your bag. When you get down, when you come across a proper place to dispose it off, you should dispose it off. That's the right thing to do. Correct? Because
Yes.
ultimately you are living somewhere, you are a part of the environment. If anything goes wrong to the environment, it will affect you ultimately. You are walking on the road, somebody comes in front of you and spits on the road. Do you like it?
No.
It doesn't look good, no? It's not just about the thing that it's not looking good. It can also have health effects. That's another big point. Correct? And the problem will spread. Now, especially in this COVID situation, we don't even have to imagine that. If somebody does that, you will run away from there. Correct? That is a very bad thing. It's like similarly, you are standing somewhere and somebody is like, say, smoking. How do you feel? Somebody is standing and smoking in front of you. Do you sit and admire that person?
No.
No. What happens? What do you experience if somebody near you is smoking? You don't like that smell, no? कितना गंदा स्मेल होते हैं, बट इमेजिन दैट्स अ पोल्यूटेंट, राइट? द पर्सन माइट बी स्मोकिंग, द पर्सन माइट बी एडिक्टेड, वो खुद के हेल्थ को तो प्रॉब्लम कर ही रहे हैं, but at the same time it is he is also playing with the health of all the people around you. So you are obviously not smoking, but you are taking in the air because which is released by him. तो उसको passive smoking बोलते हैं, and passive smoking is even more dangerous than active smoking. So for someone else's fault you will be in trouble. So that's why what we can do, we can only ensure that whatever we do are correct, so that because of us somebody else doesn't have any effect. Correct? It's like another simple example in our situation, daily life. You have to travel from one place to another, so you have different options to travel. Suppose it is nearby your home. Okay, it is near your home, so you can walk, or maybe you can use a cycle, or you can use a car. Which one do you think you should use?
By walking.
By walking or
Walking or cycling, both are better options. But for a short distance,
Yes.
if you take out your four-wheeler, is it a good thing you're doing?
No.
Of course not. Now imagine the amount of carbon footprint you are increasing. Getting it? So all these are situations in your daily life which you must avoid. Okay, even a two-wheeler motor vehicle is releasing gases. So when you have the option, why don't you do cycling? That is ultimately even good for your health. Correct? Environment friendly as well as good for your health. So I have seen small children approximately around your age group, they are into bikes and scooties and all. The main point is show off. That is not advisable. According to traffic rules also, you are not supposed to use motor vehicles below the age of 18, but still children do that. So that thing must be understood. Getting it? There are many things that we do in our daily life which we don't need to show around to the world. The important consideration is how much you care for the environment, because ultimately that is going to come back to you some way or the other. That has to be understood. Getting it? Okay. ये देखो, waste management. Before that, something called sound pollution. That is another big problem these days. The better word would be noise pollution. There is a difference between sound and noise. Correct? Sound means sometimes it is pleasant. Like obviously the world cannot be totally silent. There will be some or the other noise generated, but sometimes the sound is okay. A pleasant sound, good for the ears, it's okay. But imagine, it's like suppose there is a speaker and there is a nice song being played. So suddenly you hear a song for 5 minutes or something, it's okay. But imagine there is one speaker on one side playing a nice Bollywood song. Okay, a few meters on the other side, there is another speaker playing a bhajan. If you hear them both together, how will you feel? एक जगह बॉलीवुड का ढिंचैक म्यूजिक बज रहा है, दूसरी जगह पे राम भजन गा रहे. Both of them, when you hear together, what will happen to your ears? Will you enjoy? Your brain will be totally confused.
No.
कि भजन में ऐसा ऐसा करना है, कि ढिंचैक में ऐसा करना है. Getting it? That is noise. Correct? So noise is very, very dangerous, because more than a limit, noise affects your mental health. Brain affect होता है, heartbeat affect होते हैं. Correct? It is very disturbing. So as much as possible, one should avoid noise. There are many things that can be done peacefully. That is important. You see loudspeakers and all sometimes. It's like if suppose you are praying, you are having any rituals or something, why do you want to involve everybody around you even if they don't want to? Yes or no? If some place, suppose outside your home, कुछ function चल रहे हैं, maybe some religious function going on, and some youths loudspeaker throughout the day, continuously playing something or the other, how do you feel? up to half an hour, 1 hour is understood.
We feel irritating up.
Yes, you get irritated. Correct. सुबह चालू किया, चलो आधा घंटा ठीक है, 1 घंटा ठीक है, बट सुबह का शाम हो गया, चल ही रहा है. It becomes constantly disturbed and you are not allowed, not able to focus. And especially when you have online sessions now, at this point of time, if there is some outside disturbance, then it is havoc. You just cannot listen to anything. So that's why noise is very dangerous. That's why there are silence zones, especially around hospitals, around schools and colleges. है ना? तो ऐसा बोलते हैं कि up to a certain distance you are not supposed to make noise. Right? So sound pollution control and prevention rule was set up in the year 2000, which also sets a limit. Okay, for so and so reason, up to so and so decibel, sound intensity is measured using the units decibels. Okay, so there is an instrument available called the decibel meter, जिसे measure कर सकते हैं कितना sound intensity, right? So more than a limit, beyond a certain level of decibels, you are not allowed to emit sounds of any type. There are a lot of things where one can reduce. Imagine शादी का बारात जाते हैं, ढोल बजते रहते हैं. Sometimes to some extent is okay, but constantly you are hearing the same dhol again and again. It's like the person is banging the dhol on your head itself, and that is very disturbing, right? And the other big problem is that, see, we get the problems because of noise. Imagine what the plight of animals must be. Animals like dogs and cows and so many animals on the road, they suffer very badly. Especially just having Diwali festival. I know. During the Diwali festival, observe the behavior of the dogs. And if you have a pet animal at home, you must notice. Whatever sound we hear, the animal like dogs, they are hearing the same sound 10 times louder. So if it is unbearable for us, imagine what they must be going through. Imagine a procession, any kind of a procession going on, where we are using cows and elephants and horses. We decorate them with all sorts of things. We make them a part of the procession. There is a lot of speaker, loud noise and all. Imagine what the animal is suffering. So that is something terrible. Just because they cannot open their mouth and express the discomfort, it's not that we are supposed to use them like this. Yes or no? So all these things must be avoided completely, right? Firecrackers during Diwali festival, on any other occasion. What's the fun behind this firecrackers? I don't understand. Besides sound and chemical pollution, air pollution, there's nothing else that you get. Correct? It becomes horrible to walk on the road during that festival. कौन किधर क्या फटाका बॉम्ब रख दिया पता नहीं. Correct? It's very irritating and can be having disastrous effect also. And you get the typical smell in the air during that festival because of so many pollutants. Imagine a place like Delhi. Every year you must have seen the reports. Delhi के हवा का quality कितना worst है. Right? So all these things are ultimately adding to the effect. So I don't think there should be any festival which will play with the health of people. No religion, no festival is going to allow that. It's all these things which we have created. So all these things must be reduced. It's high time. Correct? Biomedical waste. You know what is that? All types of waste, yes, which are released from clinics, dispensaries, and hospitals. Correct. Even maternity homes and all these places where treatment is carried out. So उसमें used syringes, gloves, cotton swabs, dressing material, right? Sometimes जैसे बड़े-बड़े surgeries होते हैं तो कितना waste निकलते हैं. And obviously there is no question of reusing or recycling of these waste because they can spread infection. तो इनका एक ही टेक्निक है. Every such treatment center has to strictly follow that. कि बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट जो जनरेट हो रहा है it has to be sent to something called incinerator. उसको incinerator बोलते हैं कि it is burnt in a closed condition. उसको incineration बोलते हैं. So this biomedical waste, even if you buy, ideally, even if you buy some medicines from the clinic, okay, तो chemist यहाँ से medicine खरीदते हैं, उसके जो strips होते हैं, after you have the tablets, जो खाली strip बचा है, that should also be considered under biomedical waste, because they are chemicals. If you throw them in the normal dumping ground, animals can come in contact with them. You see stray dogs and cows and all, they are directly feeding on those waste, जहाँ पे उनको जो मिल जाते हैं, तो उसमें दवाइयों के waste होते हैं. That is dangerous. Okay, so this biomedical waste management and handling rule was set up in 1998. And especially in case of any doctor or physician, you see, अगर वो injection देते हैं, so that syringe is never reused. Right? एक person को injection दिया, वो dispose ही करना है. Another person will get a new one. Needles reuse नहीं करना है. Imagine this biomedical waste has increased tremendously since this COVID-19 pandemic started. Because इतना सारा patients हो गया, you know that वो suit जो पहनते हैं ना वो isolation के लिए, right? Gloves, mask, okay, syringes, all these things have increased like anything. अभी vaccination दे रहे हैं. It's an injection they are giving. So imagine the amount of biomedical waste. So that's a big problem now. Okay. Then next is e-waste. This is another dangerous thing which has increased in our country, especially since the past few decades. Year 2000 ke baad, especially. E-waste stands for electronic waste. So we are surrounded with electronic devices in our life. Correct? This is an electronic device, right? This is an electronic device. The
Yes.
screen on which I am seeing all of you right now is an electronic device, correct? So it's like communication technology, entertainment technology, okay, internet technology has increased drastically. It has increased drastically. Imagine at present, on an average, every household will have at least one TV. सबके घर पे होते हैं. Some people have more than one. अंदर वाले रूम में एक टीवी होगा, बाहर एक टीवी होगा. Correct? This has become nothing but a toy. Every child is having it. Even a beggar on the road will have a smartphone now. Correct? So this is adding to the electronic waste. Right? Then we are surrounded with computers. So computers, laptop, desktop, palm top, whatnot. ये सब बढ़ते गया. So all these are nothing but electronic waste. Even a small thing like a battery that we use normally, a remote ka battery, that is also an electronic waste. Because all these components, they contain chemicals. And इसको अगर हमने सही तरीके से dispose नहीं किया, so it can lead to great damage to the environment. That's why it needs to be reused. This earphone that we are using is also a part of e-waste. Imagine usage कितना बढ़ गया इन सब चीजों का. Right? There was a time in the 1990s when पूरे बिल्डिंग में या पूरे मोहल्ले में एक या दो जन के घर पे टीवी हुआ करता. And people from everywhere used to gather at one person's house to watch TV. That time TV was that kind of a luxury. Computer तो था ही नहीं. Mobile phone तो अभी अभी आया. Landline phones were not there with everyone. So imagine 1990 से लेकर अभी तक the amount of the exponential rise or increase in the amount of electronic waste. It is drastic. Okay, everyone. Okay. So next one is something called the Wildlife Protection Act. Are you aware about this? Wildlife means all those animals and plants which we don't domesticate. Okay, so it's like people, they carry out hunting, they do poaching, they kill animals for obtaining different products, right? Just a tiger ka skin, right? They're all illegal. No such wildlife should be killed for such purposes. Okay, animals like this pangolin, snakes and all, they are caught, they are used for spiritual purposes, superstitious beliefs and all. Okay, तो इस तरह से illegal birds को कितना पकड़, okay, and they are traded. So for their meat or their skin or their fur, there is an animal called the musk deer. उसका जो skin है, that hide, it contains certain glands which produce very good fragrance. तो वो एनिमल को इसके लिए मारा जाता है बिकॉज द ग्लैंड्स कैन बी हार्वेस्टेड एंड परफ्यूम्स कैन बी मेड. Imagine we do that. So for various such reasons, elephant tusk, you know that. For various such reasons, animals are killed illegally and we are causing the animal species to become extinct, endangered. Tigers के number कितने कम हो गए? So under this Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, there are these three different clauses. Okay, clause 49A tells trading of rare animals completely banned. Okay, like you cannot catch such rare animals from anywhere and you cannot trade it obviously. Similarly, 49B says use of articles prepared from the skin or the organs of wild animals are totally banned. So as a layman, if you come across somebody doing this, you can directly lodge a complaint and the person will be tried according to this law, legally tried. And accordingly, the court will pronounce a punishment. Okay. 49C, disclosure of stock of artifacts from rare wild animals is compulsory. Okay, suppose like, see, these laws and all came into picture in 1972. So somebody whose ancestors might have such kind of materials from wild animals, that time there was no law that this kind of thing should not be done. तो अगर उस तरह उस जमाने का बचा हुआ कोई चीज है अपने पास, which we have not collected from the animals or the wild, but we have got it from our ancestors. So you are supposed to declare it yourself. Yeah, I am having this, but I have not caused the wildlife to be destroyed from my side. It has passed on to me from my ancestors. So then the person will not be tried. Getting it? That is also important. So disclosure karna bhi zaruri hai. Otherwise, if you don't disclose it yourself, and if you are caught with this thing, you will be tried as with as good as you have caused the damage to the wildlife. ऐसे करके उसको problem करेंगे. So these are important points. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.